If you are anything like us, you are trying to make the most out of your time at Disney.
Yeah, at Disney, time is money more than anywhere else. So it's important to make the most of it.
That's right. So we're here to show you exactly how you can maximize your time with these 10 essential time-saving tips and tricks for your next trip to Disney World. And a bonus tip at the end if you stay through the whole video. Hey everyone, I'm Rico.
And I'm Alex.
Welcome to our channel, and we're here with another Disney video from our recent trip that we took to Orlando, where we did all 4 Disney parks as well as the Universal parks. So tip number 1 has to do with your arrival time at Disney, and that is to arrive 30 to 45 minutes before the opening time. And that's whether you have early entry or not. If you have early entry, you'll also want to make sure you're there 30 to 45 minutes early. That will help you make sure you're in the front of the pack. Make sure you can knock out 2, maybe 3 rides while you're there before the big crowds really start to come in. But either way, we found 30 to 45 minutes before park open is the sweet spot. Maybe more towards the 45-minute end if you're doing Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, since those do tend to get crowded a little bit earlier since they have a few more headliner type of rides.
Yeah, and consider 45 minutes the minimum, especially during busy times.
Peak season.
Tip number 2, get caffeinated before you enter the park. At several of the parks, like Animal Kingdom, there are Joffrey's locations right outside of the park. So you can go ahead and grab a coffee while you're waiting for early entry or for rope drop. For Epcot and Magic Kingdom, there's a Joffrey's at the monorail. And then for Hollywood Studios, Skyliner stations, or of course your hotel or Starbucks along the way. That will just really get you going, it'll get your energy up, and you won't have to take time when you get into the park to wait in those really long Starbucks lines or really long Joffrey's lines. I know for some people, getting caffeinated isn't as much of a priority, but for those of us that it is, make sure you take the 5 minutes before you enter the park to grab your coffee there. The wait times are going to be way, way less.
Yeah, and then once you get into the park, you can just make a beeline straight into your first ride that you know you want to go to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then while we're talking about getting caffeinated food and drinks, tip number 3 is to make sure you're using mobile ordering when possible. And that goes even into where you're staying. We stayed at the Swan and Dolphin, and we were able to use mobile ordering the morning while we were getting ready. We were in our hotel rooms, taking showers, getting ready before our park day. And you were using the app there, right?
Yeah, mobile ordering was really, really helpful for those busy mornings. We were able to go ahead and put our breakfast order in while we were getting ready, like you said, and then it's ready for us when we get down to the lobby. We grab it and we can eat it on our way to the park. So it's awesome. And
then at the park, there's several restaurants and locations where you can grab food, and they will accept mobile ordering. So that way you can just go ahead and place it while you're walking from Adventureland all the way to Frontierland, and just grab it as soon as you get there instead of having to wait in line again.
We basically spent most of the time that we were waiting in line looking at the menus for what we could mobile order next. We tend to snack throughout the day at the parks, and then maybe have one sit-down meal to rest our feet. I will say make sure you keep an eye on, busy times of the year. So during the summer or during those spring break times, mobile ordering windows will actually get pushed out pretty late. So if you're knowing that you're going to mobile order breakfast in the park or mobile order lunch, just consider mobile ordering those for off-peak dining hours. So if you're going to grab breakfast maybe a little bit later than people would normally order, or a little bit earlier than people would normally order, so you don't miss out on grabbing that food.
Yep, and of course Disney makes it pretty convenient for you because you'll have your card already uploaded to the app, and so you can just go ahead and pick what you want, place your order, and it'll be ready for you.
Yeah, and you can use gift cards on there. Tip number 4, have a plan for Genie Plus and Lightning Lane reservations.
And your virtual queue reservations.
Yeah.
So if you have Genie Plus, you can make your Lightning Lane reservation as early as 7 a.m. And then whether or not you have Genie Plus, you can make your virtual queue reservations for rides like Guardians of the Galaxy, for Tron. You can also make that at 7 a.m. And the cool thing with Genie Plus is that once you have everyone in your party in the app, so everyone in your family or your friends linked in the app, anyone can make those reservations. So you want to make sure you plan ahead of time who's going to be up early on the app a few minutes before 7 o'clock, refreshing the app and making sure you get those Lightning Lane and virtual queue reservations that you want.
Yeah, and make sure you guys are all on the same page. So if somebody wants to use the Lightning Lane for Slinky Dog and somebody else wants to use the Lightning Lane for Tower of Terror, make sure you kind of have a priority list so you know what you're looking for. That was really helpful to us to know which lightning lanes we needed to get first. Slinky Dog goes super fast. Things like Space Mountain can go quickly. So just making sure you know which rides are a priority for your group. We don't want to cause any kind of family drama, but make sure you talk about it before 7 a.m. comes, because 7 a.m. can be early.
Yep. Tip number 5 is to get Genie Plus.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, getting on the same page for Genie Plus, tip number 5 is just use Genie Plus. It's really, really helpful to cut down on wait times, especially during heavy crowds. And we definitely couldn't have written everything that we wrote in one day without Genie Plus.
Yeah, and just in a nutshell, Genie Plus is Disney's system to bypass the standby waiting lines. And it's an add-on. It's an add-on fee, usually between $15 to $35, depending on the day. You can purchase it at midnight on the day that you are planning on going to the park, as early as midnight. So it just depends how busy the park they think the park is going to be. That's why the price fluctuates.
This did replace Disney's Fast Pass system. So if it's been a minute since you visited Disney, there used to be paper Fast Passes, and then after paper Fast Passes, there were Fast Passes you could get in the app. This is now a paid version of that if you want to utilize kind of a Fast Pass or skip the line service, this is it. And like you said, it does change. The price changes per day based on crowd levels, based on availability, and there are a limited number of Genie Plus purchases allowed per day in order to keep it convenient to use. So just know that there is a cap to those, especially during busy season. Sometimes that cap, you reach up there.
Of course, you can have a great day without Genie Plus, but we're talking about time-saving tips.
Yep.
So if you can only get Genie Plus for maybe 1 or 2 parks, if you're going for a full week to Disney World, we would actually only recommend it for 2 out of the 4.
Yeah, definitely Magic Kingdom. There are just so many rides there. It can be really, really helpful. And then
Hollywood Studios. Again, a lot of headliners there where the lines can really back up to 90 minutes, 120 minutes for multiple rides. So definitely those 2. We think Epcot and Animal Kingdom are 2 parks that you can do without Genie Plus and have a perfectly fine experience.
Yep. Number 6 is time your character sightings. So we all love to meet characters. Well, I shouldn't say that. Most of us love to meet characters in the parks, but their times can be really sporadic. So make sure you check in the app, first of all, on when they're going to be meeting. And then second of all, we recommend getting to that location where they're going to be meeting about 15 to 20 minutes before that window. So for instance, if Mickey Mouse is meeting at 3 p.m., we recommend getting there between 2:30 and 2:40 or 2:45 and getting a spot in line so that you're able to meet him before they cut the line.
Yeah, when it's not super busy, 15 minutes, we found it to be just fine to be at the very front of the line. And yeah, our wait was 15, maybe 20 minutes to see the characters. And if you've tried to see characters before on busy season, you know that those wait times can really add up.
Yeah.
For us, we've never really tried to prioritize meeting characters. It's more like if we're already in a certain area and we know a character is going to be coming out in a few minutes or in an hour or so, we just keep an eye out for that and make sure we get there when we need to get there.
Yeah, we do love our rides, but also, if it's one of our favorite characters, we're going to try to get over there and meet them. Oh, yeah. For sure.
For sure. We've seen Snow White, many princesses.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Tip number 7 is utilize single rider lines.
Yep. So there are currently 4 rides that offer the single rider option, and those are Test Track, Expedition Everest, Smuggler's Run, and Rock and Roller Coaster. Yep, those are the 4 right now. I think it changes per season, but those are the ones that are currently available.
Yeah, I believe it may change if it's peak season or they need to, not utilize that line for some reason. They'll tell you, but you can always ask at those locations if a single rider line is an option. With single rider line, you will be split from your party. So don't, use single rider line with your family thinking, oh, we'll be able to ask up the front if we can all sit in the same row. You will be split up. It's just a way to fill those cars and keep the lines moving as quickly as possible. So they do definitely tend to cut down on your wait time versus the standby line.
Yeah, for example, we did Expedition Everest single rider, and the posted wait time for that was 65 minutes, and we were able to get on in 18 minutes, so a third of the time, which is pretty great.
So especially because, it's just us, we don't have young children with us, it's definitely an option that we use a lot of the time. I understand with young ones, you might not be able to. But there is also rider swap, which we won't go into since we've never used it, but that's an option too. If you do have young ones who not everybody wants to ride that ride, you can utilize rider swap to save some time too.
Tip number 8 is to make your dining reservations in advance.
Yeah, so you are able to make dining reservations 60 days in advance of your trip. It's always a little bit tricky to know what to recommend. It just depends on what your family wants to do. But there are some that are more harder to get reservations for than others. If you're using a trip planner, they can help you with that, or a travel agent, they can help you book those. But if not, just know that 60 days in advance of your trip is the window that it opens. And then if you are staying at a Disney resort, you are able to, when the 60-day window opens, you're able to actually make reservations for your entire trip. So if you have a week-long trip at Disney, the 60 days in advance of your first day, you're able to make reservations for your entire stay at Disney. So that is kind of a hack a little bit. If you want to get one of those hard to catch reservations, you're getting a head start by staying at a Disney resort. So that's why they offer that.
Tip number 9 is to pack a bag.
Yeah, so make sure you know what kind of things your family needs throughout the day. So medications, water bottles, things like that. But of course, sunscreen, sunglasses.
Well, if you don't know, you can bring a bag to most of the rides at Disney World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite a bit different than, other maybe roller coaster based theme parks like Cedar Point or Universal, where they're more thrill ride focused. Almost all of the rides at Disney, you're able to take your bag with you and put it at your feet or put it in a little bag on the back of the seats, and everything stays really secure.
Yeah, definitely. There are just a couple of rides where they won't allow you to bring that on the ride, but they do have lockers available for use while you're on that ride.
If you have a bigger bag that you don't want to carry, they also offer lockers at several points throughout the parks that you can store that for the whole day or for a half a day. And that can be really helpful if you have like a bigger backpack with change of clothes, things like that, but you have a smaller backpack that you want to take with you on the rides.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments below if you want to see a video of what exactly Alex packs in her bag. She is definitely always ready for any scenario, so you might not be surprised at everything that's included in what she packs.
And just to piggyback on that, you're actually able to bring some food and drink into the park with you, which can be a time-saving tip. So for several, lots of the days, we try to snack throughout the day. Like I said, maybe grab some quick service food or mobile order something, but sandwiches, granola bars, crackers, things like that, you can definitely bring those in your backpack and snack on those throughout the day. So make sure to toss them in your bag.
And as far as drinks go, as long as it's not in a glass container, you're good. You're all in the clear there. Mm-hmm. Tip number 10 is to have an early entry and rope drop strategy.
This is really important. It's early. When you rope drop, when you go to early entry, it is early. You want to talk about this and think about this before you get in the park, or you may be sleepy or trying to make decisions on the fly and get stressed out.
And those first few hours are just like...
Not that I've ever done that. I've never gotten stressed out.
So from 1 to 10, how tired?
12. Early in the morning, but you could.
You could. But yeah, those first few hours are just like the golden opportunity to get to the rides that are of most importance to you without having to wait 90, 120 minutes, having to deal with those really high wait times that they might otherwise get later in the day. So you want to make sure you have a game plan for that. And we've made another video, so we'll include the link right up here, and make sure you check that out if you're looking for some strategies to start your morning off at each of the Disney parks.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely helpful. I know that we researched a lot about the best way to do that. There are a couple options for all the different parks, so we'll try to list those for you in our video.
Yep. All right. If you've made it this far, you're ready for our bonus tip. But first, make sure.
Bonus tip.
But first, make sure you like this video. Subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming out with more theme park, more Disney, and more travel content. So be sure to subscribe. And thanks for sticking around. So our first bonus trip here has to do with extended evening hours.
Yeah, so extended evening hours are a perk offered to Disney resort guests on specific nights in specific parks. So when you're booking your trip, you can definitely ask those questions about which parks may offer extended evening hours during your stay. We definitely recommend taking advantage of these if you're able to.
And that's Disney Deluxe Resorts.
Yes, Disney Deluxe Resorts. It's Disneyland Deluxe and also the Swan and Dolphin.
Oh, and also participating resorts such as the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, if you're interested in learning about the Swan and Dolphin, it is actually a hotel that is on Disney property, but it's not operated by Disney. We did a deep dive of our stay there, a review of our hotel stay, and you can check that out on our channel if you want.
Yep, check that out as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so extended evening hours, the crowds are virtually non-existent. It is a very, very small group of individuals that are in the parks during this time. It starts after the park closes and extends for about 2 hours, I want to say, 2 to 3.
2 hours extra.
Yeah, and you're able to explore virtually the entire park. There are a couple of rides that may not be included, but almost all of them are. And it's just a really great time to like experience some of those bigger rides that maybe have a longer wait, or smaller experiences such as photo pass props.
Get a picture in front of your castle with a nighttime setting. It's really actually really cool. But yeah, we did it for Magic Kingdom, and we were able to get Tron in at night, which you know was really fun to you know see the whole ride light up in the darkness. And then we also did Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and we only waited about 20-25 minutes for that maybe, which you know so if you're familiar with that ride, that's like a usually 9-minute wait time throughout the day.
Yeah, but even like things at, you know, if it was Hollywood Studios, things like making your own lightsaber or some of those specialty experiences that maybe you don't want to take the time out of your day to do, you can do them during extended evening hours. And it's just a really, really great time saver.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then so that was our bonus tip. We kind of have like a bonus tip.
Bonus tip.
1.5. And that is to, you know, make sure you take some time for yourself to rest, to have a resort day if you can.
I know that seems counterintuitive because this video is about saving time and maximizing your stay. But not including time for rest will actually slow you down.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Let me say that again. Not resting will actually slow you down.
Yep. We are very glad we had a resort day. You know, we felt rejuvenated afterwards. And we also like made time to go back to our hotel in the middle of the day and then come back to the parks during the evening for some of the parks.
Yeah. I would highly recommend if you do take time out of your day to pop back to your resort, change your shoes. Change your shoes. That can be a lifesaver. I of course love to wear comfortable shoes to the parks, but even the most comfortable shoes after, 12 hours on your feet are gonna start to, rub blisters, or they're just gonna hurt in spots that if you get a fresh pair of shoes on when you go back, you can run like the wind at the parks, and you can get so much more done because your feet are comfortable.
Good tip?
Yeah. Bonus tips.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Yep. So that concludes our video. If you are interested in getting any of the things that we mentioned, I think the bag and the bag that we mentioned, there'll be an affiliate link down in the description below. So check that out. Also, if you like this shirt, this is from Most Magical Printing Co. So we'll include the link to that there in the bottom as well.
Yeah, and I hope that some of these tips were helpful, but if we forgot any of your favorite time-saving tips, please let us know in the comments. We would love to hear all the tips that you have learned throughout your different vacations.
Yeah, definitely let us know. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day.
Bye.